So I was wrong about something, and that's what I want to make a video about today. Hello everyone, it's Ego, welcome back to the channel. So I want to talk about combat versus Assassination Rogue. So in my previous videos, I was Assassination, but as I gathered more gear for my Rogue, I decided to actually swap back into combat to see how it was. Especially because I did get the best in slot offhand dagger for combat, which is Web Death, and I decided to try it out, and the damage output is actually quite insane, and I optimized myself better after doing a lot of the guides, especially for the combat. I got a lot of feedback from what I'm assuming is rogue players in the comments, and needless to say, I optimized myself and I switched out a few things, and I can definitely say that the combat rogue is on par with Assassination. Now, for the first couple phases, I don't think it's going to necessarily be top of the charts. However, the utility that it brings to the party is much more prominent than an Assassination Rogue, so in a sense it can be better. Now, Assassination, don't get me wrong, is still a very powerful spec and honestly will most likely be topping the charts for phase 1, but combat can still be on par with it. It's just I find more gear dependent. Assassination seems to have a lot of consistent, sustained damage, and so does combat. So yeah, I think that that's something that we could take a look at. I will take a look at the talents that I've been using for combat, because I did do a little bit of switches. I did do a little bit of switches with the glyphs. The gear itself is relatively the same, so I won't dive back into that, but I will leave links down below in the description for the combat guide and the assassination guide that you guys could take a look at. And be sure to look through the comments as well, because there's a lot of great notes from a lot of the people who commented saying, you know, their experiences and also things that they noticed as a combat rogue. But overall, like I said, there's a lot that I didn't realize that combat rogue had to offer as far as damage goes. So let's dive right into the talents, and then we'll talk a little bit more about it. Hey everyone, before we continue, just a reminder, be sure to sub to the channel and like the video down below, and don't forget that memberships are now available for the channel, so if you want some awesome perks, take a look at it in the description. Thanks everyone, enjoy the rest of the video. Okay, so for the combat rogue talents that I've been using, which kind of prompted me to make this video, letting you guys know right in advance, I won't be going through rotation because the rotation is still the same that I mentioned in my previous videos, which again, I will leave a link down below to the combat guide that I have on my channel. But since the talents are relatively the same, I will also just kind of Gatling gun through this really quickly, and then the only changes are in the assassination tree that I have, and then of course the glyphs. So we're going to go 2 out of 2 improved sinister strike, we're going to go 5 out of 5 dual wield spec, we're going to go 5 out of 5 precision, we're going to go 5 out of 5 close quarters, we're going to go 2 out of 2 improved slice, we're going to go 1 in endurance, 3 out of 3 lightning reflex, 5 out of 5 aggression. We're going to go for Blade Flurry, 2 out of 2 Weapon Expertise. We're going to go 2 out of 2 Blade Twisting. We're going to go Adrenaline Rush, 3 out of 3 Vitality, 5 out of 5 Combat Potency, 1 in Surprise Attacks, 2 in Savage Combat, which is a great damage buff for your party for any physical damage, 5 out of 5 Prey on the Weak, and then pick up Killing Spree. Now here's where we start to go into the discrepancies from my other guide, and kind of like what I've put together with how I am playing my combat rogue right now. So let me know in the comments what you think, and if you think that switching out the little talent points down here is more beneficial one way or the other, so let me know. But we went 5 out of 5 in Malice, 2 out of 2 Blood Splatter, 3 out of 3 Ruthlessness, 5 out of 5 in Lethality, and then we went 3 out of 5 in Improved Poisons, and 2 out of 3 in Vile Poisons. Now, from all guys that I've seen, including the guy that I made previously, they want 4 out of 5 in Improved Poisons, but I decided to go ahead and get that extra 7% damage from my poisons. Now let me know what you guys think about this, but I find that this has definitely increased my poison damage and actually has increased my DPS as a combat rogue. But let me know, because I'm curious if it's better the other way around. I haven't noticed it, but maybe I just haven't been playing right. Now the glyphs, I made some substantial changes to them. So originally I was saying have Fan of Knives or Vigor or, you know, other stuff like that. And then I also had, I believe it was the, I had Fan of Knives, and then I had Tricks of the Trade, and then I had Killing Spree. That's the ones I had. So Tricks of the Trade, Fan of Knives, and Killing Spree. I switched it up. I kept Killing Spree because it is an amazing ability, and being able to use it every 1.5 seconds is going to be great. Or sorry, 1.5 minutes, not seconds, imagine that. But I also picked up Sinister Strike. So the reason I picked up Sinister Strike in my mind was because it has a chance to add an additional combo point. Now, I understand that it says a 50% chance, so I may be swapping out Sinister Strike for Tricks of the Trade or even Vigor. But I may also put Fan of Knives. Overall, though, I think that the extra combo point helps with keeping your Slice and Dice up. It helps keeping your Rupture up. And if you are going absolutely into it, it helps keep your Exposed Armor up. Glyph of Slice and Dice. Now, this is something that I elected to have. And the reason why was because sometimes I found that I was starving on combo points. You know, and so I decided to grab Slice and Dice to give me that extra 3 seconds with my Slice. Now, again, it's one of those glyphs that you could swap it out for Fan of Knives or Trick of the Trade if you so desired. But I find that with Slice and Dice, I don't find myself having any downtime without Slice and Dice whenever I'm managing my combo points properly, whenever I'm actually, you know, getting those hits in with my Sinister Strikes and generating those combo points. I find that I have a lot easier time with this glyph. Now, the only glyph that I would say that I would be open to switching would be the Sinister Strike. So let me know down in the comments which one you think that I should switch to and why. Because I have heard multiple things of yes, go Vigor, no, don't go Vigor. I've heard yes, Tricks of the Trade is awesome, which I agree. Tricks of the Trade glyph is great. It gives you that extra 4 seconds. But I've also heard that Fan of Knives is also a viable glyph. Now, the reason I didn't pick the other glyphs is because Tricks of the Trade, the extra 4 seconds, yes, it's great. However, the threat is not going to be very noticeable. A lot of the tanks can generate threat perfectly. The increased damage is awesome, especially when you're casting it on somebody else. But again, you know, it's I don't know which would be overall better. And then, like I mentioned, the Fan of Knives, it's only good in AoE scenarios, right? And I want to maximize the amount of single target damage that I can output or support for my team. So that's why I went to Sinister Strike and potentially even the Tricks of the Trade. So let me know down in the comments what you think about the glyphs and about the talent switch in the Assassination tree for the Vile Poisons and Improved Poisons. But that's going to be the talents for this little combat experiment that I'm doing here. So that's going to be it for this little discussion about the Combat Rogue versus Assassination Rogue. So like I mentioned at the beginning of the video, I enjoy Assassination. I absolutely do. It is an amazing spec. It is highly sought after in guilds because of the amount of damage that you could output. And actually, it is also a decent spec if ever you're looking to just go and dive into PvP on your like off time. Now, in comparison to combat, I think that combat is phenomenal as well, and I feel like I really kind of discounted it. And I'm sorry for all the combat rogues out there, because you know what, I didn't realize exactly how up to par it was once I actually got the gear and understood more about combat. So that's going to be it for this video. I really appreciate it if you made it to the end of the video. You're an absolute legend. And I am curious, let me know down in the comments what you think about Assassination versus combat, because I want to know what you think about it. Now, that's going to be it from me, everyone. With all my shameless plugs coming in, make sure you leave a like if you like the content, and leave a sub down below if you also enjoyed the content. I really appreciate it. So, thanks everyone, and I will see you all in the next video.